Do you ever feel like your energy just runs out halfway through the day, no matter how well you slept the night before? At 75, Frank used to think it was just part of getting older. I guess this is what they mean by slowing down, he'd say to himself each afternoon as he stared at the clock, eyes drooping, body aching. But something changed the day he stumbled upon an old habit, something his grandfather used to do every afternoon back in the 1940s. Napping. Not the kind of naps where you crash out of exhaustion, but the kind of intentional, restorative nap that left him feeling like he just hit the reset button on his brain. And what if I told you that this ancient technique of napping, used by monks, warriors, and even presidents, might be the very key to boosting your energy, sharpening your memory, and even protecting your long-term brain health after 75? Today, we're diving into the secret art of napping and why it's not just a luxury for the lazy, but a science-backed habit for the wise. We'll walk through how the right kind of nap at the right time can change the way you age. And I'll share stories, research, and real-life examples of seniors who've transformed their afternoons and their lives. So grab a cozy blanket, make yourself comfortable, and let's explore the surprising power of one of the oldest human traditions, napping. Let me tell you about Joe, 78, a retired teacher living in a quiet town in Oregon. Joe was always a morning person, but ever since turning 75, he started to notice a drop in his focus right after lunch. He'd forget where he put things, struggle to follow conversations, and feel like his energy came in short bursts instead of a steady stream. At first, Joe brushed it off. I'm just getting older, he thought. But one day, after nearly dozing off while reading the newspaper, he decided to set a timer and take a 20-minute nap. No expectations, just rest. To his surprise, when he woke up, he felt clearer. Not just more awake, but sharper. He remembered to return a call he'd forgotten earlier. He even found the energy to take his dog for an afternoon walk. That wasn't a fluke. In fact, multiple studies, including one from the University of California, Berkeley, have found that short naps in older adults can boost memory, improve learning ability, and reduce mental fatigue. Researchers say that a well-timed nap can help consolidate information in the brain, reduce the harmful effects of stress, and give the brain a chance to reboot. But here's the catch. It has to be the right kind of nap. Let's go back in time for a moment. Long before smartphones, electricity, or even alarm clocks, our ancestors lived in tune with the sun. Wake at sunrise, rest at midday, sleep again after sunset. This rhythm wasn't laziness, it was biology. In fact, cultures all around the world have practiced midday napping for centuries. The Romans called it meridiare, to rest at midday. In Spain, it's known as the siesta. In China, many workplaces still allow time after lunch for quiet rest. And in Japan, it's common to see elderly folks closing their eyes for a brief nap in the park or at home after lunch. What did all these traditions have in common? They recognized that our bodies naturally experience a drop in energy between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., especially as we age. Scientists now call this the post-lunch dip, and it's not just about digestion. It's our circadian rhythm, our internal clock gently nudging us to rest. Mary, age 82, remembers her grandmother in Italy. Every afternoon, no matter what, she'd take her riposino, a little nap. It wasn't negotiable. She said it was the secret to her energy, her skin, and even her patience. And now, Mary does the same thing. At 1:30 p.m. each day, she puts on soft music, reclines her chair, and lets herself rest for 25 minutes. I don't even always sleep, she laughs, but just closing my eyes, breathing slow, it resets me. This ancient wisdom is now backed by modern science. A 2021 study published in the journal General Psychiatry found that older adults who regularly napped had better mental agility, stronger memory recall, and even fewer signs of age-related brain shrinkage. In other words, napping isn't just an old habit, it's a smart one. Here's where it gets interesting. Not all naps are created equal. In fact, the difference between feeling refreshed and feeling groggy often comes down to how long you nap. Take Frank, the gentleman we mentioned earlier. At first, he thought, if a 20-minute nap is good, then an hour must be great. But instead of feeling energized, he woke up disoriented, head heavy, heart racing. That's because he had unknowingly entered deep sleep, something that's not meant to be interrupted. According to sleep researchers, there are 3 ideal nap durations for seniors. 10 to 20 minutes, the power nap, helps boost alertness, mood, and memory. You stay in light sleep so you wake up refreshed. 30 to 60 minutes, risk of waking during deep sleep, which can lead to grogginess. Not ideal unless you can finish a full cycle. 90 minutes, a full sleep cycle, enhances creativity, learning, and memory, but only if you have time for it. So what's the sweet spot for most people over 75? Around 20 to 30 minutes, preferably between 1 and 3 p.m. That's what works best for Carol, age 76. She sets a gentle alarm, lies on her recliner, not her bed, and closes her eyes. Sometimes I drift off, sometimes I don't, but either way, I feel lighter afterwards, like I can take on the rest of the day. Remember, it's not about sleeping long, it's about resting smart. Let's talk about the brain. After 75, many of us become more concerned about cognitive decline, forgetfulness, slower thinking, and even early signs of dementia. But what if I told you that a regular nap can actually help protect your brain? A study from Harvard Medical School found that older adults who took short naps at least 3 times per week showed improved memory retention and verbal fluency compared to those who didn't nap. Why? Because during short naps, your brain gets a chance to clear out toxins, repair neural pathways, and consolidate memories. Think of it like a mental tune-up. Nancy, 80, swears by her daily nap for keeping her mind sharp. I used to forget names and appointments, she admits. Now I rest after lunch and feel more present in the afternoon. I even started doing crossword puzzles again. It's no coincidence. Even a NASA study on older pilots found that a 26-minute nap improved performance by 34% and alertness by 54%. If it works for astronauts, it can work for us here on Earth. So if you've been feeling foggy in the afternoon, maybe your brain isn't failing. Maybe it's just asking for a break. What about the heart? Turns out a regular nap may do more than rest your mind. It can support your cardiovascular health too. In a 2019 study from the University Hospital of Lausanne in Switzerland, researchers tracked more than 3,000 adults over 5 years. They discovered that people who took 1 to 2 naps per week had a 48% lower risk of heart attack and stroke. Yes, nearly half the risk. That's what convinced Richard, 79, to give napping a serious try. He has high blood pressure, a family history of heart disease, and was constantly feeling fatigued. I used to feel guilty, like I should power through, he says. Now I take a short nap after lunch and my blood pressure numbers are better than they've been in years. The key? Short naps. Not too late in the day. And not every single day, but often enough to give your heart a break. Because stress wears on the heart, and a nap, it's like pressing pause on that stress, letting your body catch up, breathe, and heal. Let's face it, napping isn't always easy for everyone. Some people say, I just can't fall asleep during the day. That's okay. The truth is, you don't even have to fall asleep for your nap to be beneficial. What matters is giving your body and brain a break. Even lying down with your eyes closed and focusing on your breath can trigger relaxation and lower your cortisol levels. Here's how you can build your own nap ritual. 1. Pick a consistent time. 1 to 3 p.m. is best. 2. Choose a quiet, comfortable space, a recliner, sofa, or even a shady porch. 3. Dim the lights or wear an eye mask. 4. Use soft background sounds, like ocean waves or instrumental music. 5. Set a timer for 20 to 25 minutes to avoid oversleeping. That's what Barbara, 85, does every day. She doesn't always nap, but she calls it her quiet time. No phone, no chores, just rest. It's my way of loving myself, she smiles. You deserve that too. Of course, like anything, napping has a few pitfalls. Let's clear them up. Napping too late in the day can disrupt your nighttime sleep. Napping too long, over 60 to 90 minutes, can make you feel groggy. Using naps as a replacement for poor night's sleep is not ideal. Fix your nighttime routine too. Feeling guilty about resting? Stop. Rest is part of a healthy lifestyle. Joe from earlier made this mistake. He started napping too late, around 5 p.m. Then he couldn't fall asleep at night and felt worse the next day. Once he moved his nap to 1:30 p.m., everything changed. So remember, nap smart, not long. Rest doesn't mean weakness, it means wisdom. Let's step back. Why does all this matter? Because after 75, every healthy habit counts. We're not just trying to live longer, we're trying to live better. And something as simple as a 20-minute nap each day could be the difference between brain fog and clarity, between fatigue and energy, between feeling burdened and feeling balanced. It's not magic. It's not laziness. It's biology, tradition, and self-care. And here's the truth. The nap isn't the goal. It's the tool. A tool to restore, to renew, and to reclaim a part of yourself that feels forgotten. So the next time you feel tired, don't just grab a cup of coffee. Instead, try what generations before us knew all along. Lie down, close your eyes, and just breathe. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is rest. Before we end, I'd love to ask you, have you tried napping regularly? What changes did you notice in your body, your mood, and your memory? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. And if you found this video helpful, please click like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss any of our weekly tips for healthy, joyful aging. You're not alone on this journey. You're part of a growing community of wise, courageous, and curious people, choosing to age with strength, grace, and a little more rest. So here's your gentle reminder. You've earned your nap. Now go enjoy it. See you in the next video.